the number of Americans filing for jobless aid last week dipped to 900,000. But while that number seems to be decreasing, job loss is still at historically high levels. And we know that you have questions and we are getting you answers today. And how do we get you answers? Well, we have two experts for you. Chris Rivera is the director of Guilford Works. Will Graham is the vice president and COO of Graham Personnel Services. They're joining us today to talk about new jobs and talk about your unemployment questions as well. So how do you get them a question? This is how you do it. You are going to text to this number, 336-379-5775. 336-379-5775. This is text only, so please don't call that number because we're not able to do anything with calls, but we can take your text questions. Hey, Chris, let's start off, first and foremost, with talking about that $300 federal benefit that is there for unemployment and how it's automatic for some and how it's not automatic for one group.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as we know, the administration back on the 27th of December signed into law this Continued Assistance Act. What that did was it added 11 weeks of federal unemployment benefits to individuals to collect through March the 13th. In addition to that, it made available supplemental benefits in the amount of $300 for individuals that were collecting benefits. This, unlike the previous $600, is available to anyone who is collecting state or federal unemployment benefits. As of right now, what we do understand is that individuals that were collecting pandemic unemployment assistance UI benefits or PUA have already begun receiving those benefits. DES is still currently working out the kinks to re-implement the federal pandemic unemployment compensation or PUEC programs, but individuals would be eligible for the $300 as well.
Okay, so that kind of sets the stage for unemployment so that maybe that will help you figure out what you really do want to ask by text. When it comes to new jobs, I know, Chris, there with Guilford Works, you've got plenty of them. We're going to talk about a job fair that you've got coming up. But Will, I want to get to you next because this question is from a viewer saying, what are the most common job openings out there right now?
Sure, that is a good question. So the most common jobs that we are seeing right now are on the essential manufacturing side. So that is manufacturing and logistics. So think about essential products that people are buying. Examples of that would be cleaning, antibacterial products, food services, the home improvement industry, transportation, and logistics. So we're seeing the majority of manufacturers here, their hiring has really increased as they are producing and shipping essential products.
All right, so with that said, let's go on and show, we have a graphic that shows you have 400 jobs that you have listed right now
Yes.
at your service agency, and they are all over the Triad.
Yes, you bet. I mean, they range from High Point, where we have probably about 50 job openings paying anywhere between $16 to $20 an hour, all on first shift. The three most common shifts we see are 8-hour shifts, 5 days a week, 4 10-hour shifts or 12-hour shifts. In Greensboro, we have about 65 openings on the advanced manufacturing side as well. About 20 openings in Danville, Thomasville. We do a lot of hiring in the Thomasville area. We work with a lot of large manufacturers, and we have about 100 job openings that we're going to need to fill here in January and February. Do some work in Asheville as well, and Reedsville is also another 30 machine operators as well. So these manufacturing and logistics companies are hiring a lot. We haven't seen the demand in the travel, hospitality, and leisure. I think those are going to continue to lag, but it's looking a lot more optimistic, especially in 2021 than it was in 2020.
Right, and if you heard any of those jobs that sounded like you were interested in them, they are now posted there at Graham Personnel Services. And while it's called Graham, that as is in Will Graham, it's not like as in Graham, North Carolina. They are jobs that are all over the Triad. We have a link to the Personnel Services site right there in the Who Wants to Know section so that you can get to it easily for those of you at home. All right, Chris, this person has this question. Who do you talk to when your account is locked after being verified? And I think we've answered this question before that deals with like a PIN number.
Yeah, there are a couple of different ways that individuals could work to remedy that. There is a link on the NC Works Online site that individuals could click to get their password resets, as well as on the DES's site. In some cases, they may be able to contact a local career center, and a representative can help them, access the person to get that reset, as well as calling down to the call center.
All right, we haven't had that question in a long time, and I remember
Long
us
time.
having that email for what you do if you've been locked out. So I'll put that in the Two Wants to Know section in this article at the same time. All right, so this person is asking, when it comes to this $300 federal unemployment, how do they know that they can get it? And what's interesting about this benefit is that it's not COVID related.
Yeah, so what happens is once an individual has been deemed eligible to receive benefits, that $300 supplement is going to automatically add it on top of what their weekly benefit amount is. So there's nothing that an individual will have to do. You're absolutely right. Unlike the first round of supplemental benefits, this is applicable to anyone who is receiving state and or federal unemployment benefits.
And so we can't tell you whether you would be eligible or not, but it does have a really wide swath path this time. So it's worth going there and trying to figure that out.
Right. Well, it's not that they're eligible for the $300. They would have to be deemed eligible for unemployment benefits, either state or federal. And if they are, that will be added to their weekly amount.
Gotcha. Okay. So we have a couple questions coming in about if you need to work, but you're an at-risk person for COVID-19, what are your chances of trying to find remote work? I'm going to let both of you answer that when we come back from this break, because I know you both have some side notes on that. Meanwhile, continue to text your questions, 336-379-5775, and we'll be right back.